In this video we're looking at how to download and install the NHS COVID-19 app on a smartphone, and also going through a quick tutorial on how the app works. So if you've got an Android phone, the first thing you do is go on the Play Store. If it's an Apple iPhone, you just need to go onto the App Store. So we'll just open the Play Store, and there we go. We type in the NHS COVID-19 app in the search bar at the top, and then there it is, NHS COVID-19, and we just tap install. And just wait for that to finish installing. So once that green circle's gone fully round, it'll be downloaded. On the iPhone it's blue. Now what we can do, you can just tap open, and then there'll be a few things to begin with. So just run through. So it gives you brief information of what the app can do, and just tap continue. If you're over 16, just tap on that. And here it tells you about protecting your privacy, you're in control of your data. So if you want to download, then just tap on those and it'll download the documents for you to read. Once you're happy, just tap I agree. If you don't agree, you won't be able to use the app. So you just enter the postcode. So if you just tap in the box, then your keyboard will pop up. So in this case we'll do TS1. Just tap continue, and it tells you who your local authority is, and you just tap confirm. And this is a bit about the contact tracing, so it uses your phone to identify anyone you've come into contact, and if any of those have tested positive for COVID, you will be notified. So it just tells you a little bit on there. So once you've read it, just tap continue, and you can turn it on, and you'll see there once it's on, it's got a little green tick and it's active. If you ever wanted to turn that off, as everyone knows the pingdemic, you just tap on manage contact tracing, and it's simple, little green button up there, and that will turn it off, and it will choose if you want to remind it. It will remind you once and that's it. So you could just set that to what you wanted. And just tap OK, and then it's off, and you notice when we go back it tells you contact tracing is paused, and you can turn it back on any time. You don't have to wait for them to remind you. So you might see those QR codes when you're when you're going into coffee shops, restaurants, public buildings. If you just, when you see them, you just tap on there, and this will come up just the first time that you use it, and you just put just while using the app. And what that will do is you just put that up to the QR code, and once it's identified the QR code, it will scan it and it will check you into that building, and that's it. That's that one done. Come off there, just tap on the X. You also, if you're feeling any symptoms that you're unsure about, you can check your symptoms on here. So it goes through the main ones: a high temperature. So if you think you've got that, you just tick that button. A new or continuous cough, tick that if you've got that. And then you change your sense of smell or taste, just tick that. Tick the ones that apply to you, and you tap continue, and then it will say, do you remember the first time you started feeling any of these? You can either select a date, or so you just pick whichever date, or you put I do not remember this date. Once you tap submit, it will go back to the main screen and it'll tell you how many days you need to self-isolate, but I'm not going to do that because it will identify that I need to self-isolate. So I just tap the back arrow and tap the X. If you need to get tested for COVID-19, you can find out about testing, and you can also enter test results. So if you've got a rapid flow test at home and you want to log the result, you can do that on here, and you enter the test code, which is on the results section when you put the drops on, and it's got the lines on the back of there. I think it's at the top, and there'll be a little code, and you just pop that in there. And you can also find out about testing. You tap on that, it'll take you straight to the nhs.uk site, and that's where you can go through and book a test. And if you want to enter a test result as well, you can go straight there and enter it. You have the settings, which just go through your area data, any venue history, so you can look from where you've been. That's quite useful if you've been using that part of the app. And then they've got about this app. So that explains also about how the app works, about your data, how it's used and our policies, and you can go through and review all of those things that you first saw when you first downloaded the app. And that's about it really, and that covers your test and trace. So to turn it back on, as we looked at the start, when you're managing your contact tracing, you can either just tap it there, turn back on. It gives you that option, and it starts with the green tick, and it shows that it's working for the test and trace part of the app. And that's it. That's how to use the NHS Test and Trace app on an Android phone. It's very similar to an iPhone in terms of the way the app looks, just slightly different, but you'll be able to work your way through it using this video as well. Thank you.